AI is affecting the way businesses operate, and the fact that you don't know how to use it does not mean that your competitors are not trying to master this tool. That's exactly why in this video I'll share with you how AI is reshaping the e-commerce email marketing landscape, and I'll show you how to be more efficient and make more money with AI. Now, before jumping into the actual video, I just want to share with you some of the results we have been able to get by leveraging AI and becoming more efficient and doing more work in less amount of time, right? So for example, here's one of our clients. He's doing a 60% through email marketing. Then another client is doing 43% with email marketing, and another 43% with another different client. Now you're probably wondering why watch this video. Well, this video will save you a shoot ton of time when it comes to creating killer copy for your brand or your client emails. I'll also showcase you the exact system that allows me to pump out copy for one email campaign in less than 5 minutes without sounding like ChatGPT made the copy. You can simply copy and paste what I'm about to teach you, and there's a surprise at the very end of this video, so make sure you stay until the very end. But you may be asking yourself, why use email marketing, right? So first of all, the ad CPCs are only getting more expensive and they won't slow down, right? Essentially, it would only get more expensive and more expensive because more brands are bidding for their search terms, for more engagement, for more views, right? So you need another source of marketing that isn't as expensive, that allows you to actually nurture your customer base or your lead base into buying your products. Now, also another reason is the fact that people no longer trust brands as they used to, right? Due to how many there are. So due to how many options there are, people are just choosing the cheapest option, the option with more reviews, right? More trustworthiness. Also, another reason is the fact that you own the data, which makes it extremely cheap to get on people's faces in a few seconds on a weekly basis. And also because the fact that retaining existing customers can be up to 5 times cheaper than acquiring new ones. Now, don't get me wrong, this does not mean that you should stop acquiring new ones, right? But what it actually means is that once someone buys from you, don't just let it go to waste, but rather try to sell him on more stuff or on different stuff for your brand, and make the most out of that customer by increasing their lifetime value. Now, before actually explaining the prompts that you need to use and how to make the most out of AI, there's something you need to understand before using AI, right? So I've actually done some research and I found that a professor at Harvard Business School had to say the following about AI, right? So he said that AI won't actually replace humans, but humans with AI will replace humans without AI. Now, the reason behind this is pretty simple, right? So if we look at 2 scenarios, right? So scenario A, where a human using AI creates 12 pieces of email copy in 1 hour, and scenario B, where a human not using AI creates 5 pieces of the same quality copy in 1 hour. And if we compare the productivity of these 2 scenarios, we can see that scenario A is producing 2.4 times more email copy than scenario B in the same time frame, meaning that scenario A has a productivity increase of 140% over scenario B. Now, honestly, who do you think becomes more valuable for a business? Scenario A or scenario B? Exactly. So now that we know how AI actually helps, when it comes to creating topic ideas for our emails, although it can be a daunting task for many marketers and brand owners, in fact, I've actually seen this being the bottleneck for many brands, right? Because you need to email your list 3 times a week, right? I mean, usually that should be the case. Now, if you're not doing that, then you should do better. But it no longer has to be this way, right? Because with AI, you can create up to 30, 40, 50 topics in a matter of seconds. And of course, when it comes to crafting this prompt that you're going to give to ChatGPT, you need to provide as much information about the brand as possible. Because the more info you provide and the more specific you are, then the better output ChatGPT is going to provide you with, right? So for example, here's the prompt that we use to craft direct punchy copy. So for example, I'm going to provide detailed background information on my e-commerce brand. I want you to use this information to ideate focused content angles for email campaigns that highlight one key idea or benefit per campaign to simplify reader engagement and drive a single action. Now, come up with 30 different email ideas and make sure that the ideas are provided in a bullet point style. No need to explain each idea, right? So we can just have it there in front of us, and it's just way easier to analyze. And then for each campaign idea, just propose a clear, compelling angle focused on one primary message, and ensure that each angle aligns with the brand's tone, the audience aspirations or pain points, and allows for a natural single call to action. Now, obviously, avoid overwhelming the reader with multiple actions or themes in a single email, and keep the focus on one core idea, right? This essentially is going to help to just give one idea to the reader and not give them multiple ideas and just overwhelm them, right? So, and then you basically introduce your brand information, right? So again, the more information you put about your brand, the better output ChatGPT is going to provide you with. So make sure that this information is as good as possible. So now that I've actually just copied the prompt here, I'm now going to introduce Athletic Greens market research. Obviously, use your brand's market research. This is just for the purpose of this video. So here we have it, and let's see what it lists out. So, for example, see, I've actually asked him to do the listing, right, with the ideas, but he also just gives me this, which I don't really like. But anyways, so for example, the simplest way to start your day right, feeling tired, your daily dose of 75 nutrients in one scoop, how AG1 simplifies nutrition for busy professionals, say goodbye to multiple supplements, and here's why. Right, so these are a lot of ideas that you can get. Obviously, I'm not saying to use all of them if you don't like certain topic ideas that it provides you with, but what you should do is just copy and paste these into a document, and the ones that you like, then you can use, and the ones that you don't like, just remove them, right? So this is a really good idea to get 30 email ideas in just a couple of seconds. So now that we have the topic idea for our email, now we actually need to write the actual email, right? So we need to make sure that our copy is super punchy and easy to consume. Reason for this being is that people nowadays have a really short attention span due to social media, due to platforms like TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all of these platforms. And therefore, we need to make the punchiest and more direct response copy to grab their attention quick, and not bore them along the way. Because if they just see a bunch of text, then they're just going to leave and they're not going to click or anything, because they can't be asked to actually read everything, right? So for example, I've crafted this prompt here. So using the brand information provided, create an email list that is direct response driven, persuasive, blah, blah, blah. And then insert the topic. Then you say if it's a design-based email or a text-based email from the founder, right? Which I've also instructed him to do. And again, just focus on one clear message and ensure that the copy flows smoothly and is easy to read, etc. So we're going to do this for one topic idea for Athletic Greens. So we copy the prompt and we insert the topic here, as I said. So for example, let's get this one. Busy day, let AG1 handle your nutrients needs. So you get this, for example, you do this. And I also instructed him to provide me with 5 different variations for this email, because it's usually better, as we can then get a headline from one variation, then a subheadline from another variation, and it just gives you just better and more information, which you can then use to your advantage. So for example, headline, nutrient packed and ready in 60 seconds, right? So that's a good headline. And then subheadline is just get the health essentials you need without the extra effort, or another subheadline, fuel your day with only supplement you need. Then the body copy, for example, for busy days that demand your full energy, AG1 has you covered. This all-in-one blend provides the nutrients your body craves in one easy step. No prep, no fuss, just complete nutrition that's ready when you are. Simplify your health routine and power through your day. Right now, this is honestly really good, and you can get different, as I said, different body copies, different subheadlines from different variations, so that you're not just stuck into one option. And you can even just add whatever you feel may be right, or just remove some things that you may find too ChatGPT. But essentially, this is a really good way to go about it. Now, as I said, you may still have to go back and forth with ChatGPT to produce the highest quality copy, but what it does, it saves so much initial back and forth with these prompts than with generic and short prompts that you perhaps just ask him to do. So now, this is not the surprise that I was talking about, but this is just an extra bonus. When it comes to translating the email copy, a lot of the times you normally want to write email copy in your native language to then translate it into the brand's language, or perhaps you have a client that speaks another language. So for instance, I have a brand in the Swedish market and their whole website and emails are in Swedish. But in order for this not to affect who I serve, right? What I do is I craft the email copy in English and they then translate it into Swedish. Now, when translating, ChatGPT, if you don't give them specific instructions, will produce poor translations as well as Google Translate, for example. So what I do in order to for ChatGPT to provide me with the most accurate translation is I use the following prompt, right? So for example, translate this email into our target language, avoid word for word translations to ensure it sounds natural, fluent, and culturally relevant for a native reader. Instead, focus on conveying the tone, intent, and flow of the original message in a way that feels authentically written by a native speaker of this language, right? So also this, but essentially what this does is it provides super good translations, and it avoids going with the back and forth with clients on just correcting email copy. And then lastly, here's the surprise that I was talking about, right? Which is the fact that I've built a custom GPT, which I've fed all these instructions to, so that you don't have to write these specific prompts all the time, and it just becomes super boring to write the same prompts all the time, but rather just have a GPT that has been everything fed to. So for example, I've actually fed the best email copy that I've seen, right, with the biggest brands. So he knows what type of email copy to craft, right? So if you actually want this, the only thing you have to do is message me on LinkedIn, right? So I'll just leave my LinkedIn link down below, and you can just message me. And if, for example, you want me and my team to audit your Klaviyo account and completely for free, then you can also message me on LinkedIn, and we can see what we can do for your brand and just explore the possibility of working together. So if you actually like this video and you enjoyed this video, just like the video and see you on the next one.